Well, recording is started. Same as for you. I'll just be a minute or so while I'm looking for something to talk about here.
Okay. See anything?
Okay. We'll go more into this later on, but make sure you're just using your helix or kind of holding on to it at the moment. We want to make sure that we're putting it out there to do things. Oftentimes, it's going to act as a really great finisher, but at longer ranges, you want to use it as an opener, and we'll kind of discuss how and why.
Gotcha. Okay.
There, I say you probably were fine to stay on high ground. I don't think there's really a major reason why we...
I thought they were moving the payload.
Even if they were moving it, we can still stay above them, and then if we're above them, we can see either side they go. So we don't necessarily, like, from here, we can just kind of see them underneath us. If you need to, you can peek further along the sides. This just gives us, like, high ground's always fantastic positioning to be on, just because we have so much visibility and survivability from up there.
Ah.
Barricades moving.
Okay. Once again, maybe we could be taking high ground. There you go. There you go. Yeah, very nice.
We have reached a new pinnacle of
I wonder if I can helix jump up that. I don't.
Yeah,
know
you
if I
can.
need to, but this.
Yeah, you'd be able to. just mess it
Of
up
course,
a
I
little
have to helix jump instead of just shoot myself. I hate this spot.
Oh my god, if I had scattered or no.
Okay, nice ultimate. Make sure that when you are ulting that you're sticking on a target, not swapping between a couple targets. If we're swapping between 3 different people, we're gonna give them time to get away and heal, and we're just gonna tickle everybody. So just make sure you're staying on target. Drop health pack while you're in duels, and then we just gotta be careful of that, magnetic grenade, possibly looking to like sprint and dodge and avoid it, staying out of range of it, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, going right, yeah, right side probably would have been faster. There you go.
exerting force on the barricade.
Pretty much same thing as last time, right? Make sure we're trying to stay out of it. It's a 10-meter range.
I heard his footsteps too late. Like I was trying to just go in that room, and then I heard his footstep and was like, oh crap.
Yep, just gotta make sure we keep our ears open, listen for it. Yeah, same thing.
The barricade proceeds.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's the
that
reason
was-
why Yeah.
That was just me being, I don't know, just not respecting them and hanging out right by their spawn door.
Yep. Exactly. That's probably the reason why I probably wouldn't go and stand there. You probably alternatively just wanted to be like behind the robot, kind of with your team, rather than so far off into their side. Make sure kind of watching the flow of the fight here, and how, how many teammates do we have alive? What's the status of it? Yeah, because at that point there it's a 3v5 and they have their close spawns, so that's lost.
Yeah.
So now we're just wanting to group up with our team. Be a little careful. Yep, there you go. Either you could possibly have been sneaky and tried to stay there, but honestly the fight's coming around the side anyways.
Where'd my Kiriko go?
Make sure you've got healing when you're low. Oh, yep. Make sure you cast healing. That'll, let them know you need healing and whatnot, and get you healing faster. Tell them where you are. Additionally, on top of that, make sure we're not dropping into the middle of everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe consider dropping onto that like secondary high ground, if you know what I'm talking about.
The one I jumped right off of.
Yeah.
Right into him.
Yep. Use cover. Don't jump out in the open. Don't jump into their team. Possibly, if we got healed up there, we have visor available, so that definitely would have been helpful.
Feels like sunlight, huh? They're pushing the barricade.
Yep.
Step rider. Enemy on the move. Stop them.
Okay, make sure when you're visoring that you have people that you can kind of see around the open and that you can shoot at. Whereas there's maybe like one person and then they ran and got behind a shield. So you want to make sure that you have an angle to be able to actually see them, and then they can't just run around get away around the corner.
Don't let them push it any further.
Can I see anybody out here? No.
You're probably gonna stay on the bus. So, yeah. Uh-oh. So dropping from high ground, health pack, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I wanted that Lucio.
Lot of, and then even like trying to chase the Lucio, like we probably could have still seen him from the high ground, because otherwise he's running out of the fight and he can't do anything if he's just pulling backwards.
He's dead.
Lot of very preventable deaths, I would say, so far. But like, a lot of these deaths are, positioning things, awareness things, over aggression, not using their health packs, or, health packs and things like that. So a little bit of all over the place. Make sure as well that you're pressing tab a bit more. I have yet to see a tab. Tab should be pressed at a very minimum once between every single fight, because it gives you a good helix.
That's the plan. We have a slight advantage, so.
Tab lets you know, who's up, who's down. Did they make any swaps? Did we make any swaps? What ults do we have? That sort of thing. So between every fight.
75 to ult. Once I get it, I'll try to just get them all off point.
Yep. So we would therefore be able to know, okay, maybe we can combo with Nano and Sigma Flux, right? That sort of thing.
Alright, we can nano soldier when I ult. Okay.
That guy's pressing tab.
Ah. No.
Okay. Maybe not. Weren't giving sufficient pressure to keep them off of the high ground. You kind of let them walk up for free.
Nice.
All right. Good kills. Sheesh.
Oh no.
Good kills. Be careful about the tire. Make sure you're watching out for it. Also, be very careful because you were like literally. You were. I don't know if you saw your health bar there, but you were literally 1 HP, and you stepped like into the Reinhardt, and I got very scared for a second.
Yeah.
Alright.
I thought the tire killed me, to be honest.
Yeah, but the tire hit you, and you were down to 1 HP. All right, why don't we go over a couple things here? So don't hop into a queue quite yet. All right, I am streaming. All right. So let's go over a couple different concepts. Last time, did we go over crosshair placement?
Yes.
Yes. Keep that up. Make sure crosshair's just getting lifted up a little bit. We're aiming like towards the lower body a lot of the time. We want to make sure that we're going up to headshot. Like I'm not noticing a lot of headshots, and that's just going to reduce our time to kill by a lot. And the longer we take to kill something, the to get away and to get healed and to get around the corner, etc. You know, use tanking abilities, use any abilities. So get that 2 times damage by hitting those heads. Versus, 1 times damage. You want the buff. So aim head level. Make sure you're just keeping your crosshair there. Aim around corners at that level. Helix rocket usage. I think our Helix usage could be a lot securing us kills. I don't think it's being used very properly. The first thing I say is use it more often. You want to look to use it, and Helix is actually going to make up a large, not every kill, but a large proportion of your kills. Maybe, like, very roughly speaking, about like half your kills could potentially be coming from Helix because it acts as a really great combo to burst someone's health down. So let me demonstrate. If I'm coming into a fight, I can go tap, 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 they're dead. Right? Very, very fast. Like I said before, the faster we kill something, the better of a chance we have to actually secure the kill and kill them. Therefore, usually you use your Helix as a burst ability, use it as a finisher. So we do tap, 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 Helix, they're dead. And note the Helix, sometimes we're doing it really delayed, so we'll wait until they're this HP, or sorry, not that far, but we'll wait till they are 1, 2, 3, maybe we'll wait till they're like that, and then Helix or something like that. But Helix does 120 damage if you hit the direct shot, which is over half of their health. So we can get someone down to this, and Helix will finish them. So Helix faster with our shots, and even if Helix doesn't finish them, so like let's say we do that, and Helix, we can always tap another time, right? That sort of thing, because you're shooting at them continuously. Use it to finish and burst people down. But that's within a range. Usually that's within 20 meters. Once you get past 20 meters, well then the further away you go, you run into an issue of if we're trying to use Helix to finish someone, well, firstly it's going to be very delayed because it's a projectile. So by the time it reaches them, they might have already healed, something of that sort. Also, because it's a projectile, it's going to be a lot less accurate at ranges. So it's not as guaranteed of a finisher. So therefore, it's usually not as best used as a finisher the further away you go. So instead, what you use is you use it as an opener. So we come into the fight, we come into shooting at this person, and we just fire Helix immediately, so that by the time Helix is hitting them, we're bursting in their health all at the same time, right? So it does pretty much the exact same thing, except for we're just using it first this time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep. So, before or within 20 meters, we're using it as finisher. Beyond 20 meters, we're using it as an opener. When you're using Helix, don't aim directly, so this, you change up your crosshair placement slightly when you're going for helix. You don't aim up at head level or body level, because if we miss, we just go sailing off into nothing. Nothingness, Narnia. But if we aim at their feet and we were to miss, if we aim down at their feet and we miss, well, now we just get, we still get splash damage, right? Which means that we get extra damage in, even if we were to miss. So therefore, instead of aiming up at head level, aim at feet. And then you get the direct damage if you get direct damage. If you don't, you get the splash damage. Anyways, but you do this where you aim up at head level, you flick down for the helix, and then you look back up. That sort of thing. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimate usage. Firstly, like I said, use your ultimate when people are out in the open and can't run away from it. Right. The number one the easiest counter to your ultimate is cover, because if you start visoring, nope. The easiest counter to your ultimate is going to be being behind cover, right? If they're over there, they can just run around the corner and your ult does nothing. Instead, use it when they're out in the open, when they're standing here, right? It's gonna be a lot better for you. Also, were you aware of the fact that you do headshot damage while you're in your ultimate if you're aiming at heads?
Yeah, but it's hard for me to see because I'm trying to. I need to get my eyes checked, I think.
Okay.
It's hard for me to see with all that going on the screen. So yeah. I'm aware that you do headshot damage when ulting.
Okay. It's going to be the same middle of your crosshair. But like you said, I mean, I just need to get checked. It's understandable.
Yeah.
But, I still aim for that a little bit more. Let's see, what else is there? I think that's about it for the current moment off of the top of my head. Yeah, why don't you queue up for another game? I feel like there's maybe one or two more things I was going to talk. Oh, ranging on Soldier. That was another one I was going to go over. What range would you say Soldier is as a character?
He's mid-range.
Yep, mid-range. So to put that into perspective, 15 meters is about the start of mid-range. Going within that, there's other characters that do that better. Sometimes you kind of drop into their team. Not something we want to do a lot of the time on most characters. And Soldier, just because you're mid-range, you don't want to be running into their entire team because other characters do that better than you, such as Reaper, Reinhardt, etc. But then you also kind of cap out your range at about 30 meters, so like about 15 to 30 meters is your preference range. And you can go further and you can go closer, but you don't want to go too much further. And I noticed that we oftentimes would go further and we would go closer pretty frequently, unnecessarily so. When you go further, you suffer from a lot of things. Maybe we went over some of those things on Samra. Did we go over some of those things on Samra?
Yeah. I mean, the damage drop off and yeah.
Soldier, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, yeah, up here it's 6 up here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 there, 6 there. Here we back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right now it's even more further back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and those are headshots, right?
Yeah.
Less accurate from this range. Helix is going to be delayed, so we don't want to. I just noticed way too much of sitting. Maybe like we'd come into fights and sit at this range right here. It's just a little too far away. Right? I say get closer, so you can actually do things more effectively.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let me know when you get in the game here.
No. I mean, it all seems pretty straightforward. One thing that I need to work on is the range thing. And just for some reason I'm still diving into the team. Like even when it happens, I know I'm consciously like, why did I just do that?
Yeah. Ultimately, that'll come down to making sure that you're thinking about it before you're diving and while you're diving into their team rather than afterwards, and identify, oh, that was wrong. That's the first step to fixing it, is knowing that you did something wrong. But at the same time, if you're trying to actually implement it and fix it, then you're going to want to make sure that you're thinking about it as you're playing, and that will prevent it. Because if you're actively thinking, don't dive into their team, don't dive into their team, don't dive into their team while you're playing through your game, well, you're probably not going to do it as often.
Right.
If you're thinking about it in the moment, because that wouldn't make too much sense to be thinking, I'm not going to dive into their team and then proceed to dive into their team.
Right.
Yep, that's about that. Helix, or sorry, not Helix, health pack, use it more often. When you visor, usually it's a good idea just to plop it where you're at and then visor. That way you are able to, if you plop it where you're at while you visor, that's going to mean that you have more sustainability. You can survive longer while you're ulting, and usually people are going to be looking at you when you're ulting, right? So
Right.
you're likely
Now,
to
doesn't
take
it
damage.
cancel the animation too?
Yeah, I
there's a
can't.
slight
It's
animation cancel.
yeah, it's really fast. Yep, you're correct. Mhm.
Yeah.
So you can just plop it and ult kind of it together. Hmm. Okay.
On cue. It's less than 3 minutes.
Let's see. Using high ground, sometimes it's like well, firstly, we'll drop from high grounds unnecessarily, but then also when you're using high ground, sometimes it feels like we're having a hard time, like, trying to see people underneath us. Firstly, you can walk, like, all the way up to the edge of a high ground without falling off. You just want to be careful about it. One thing that might help is crouching, because that will lower your movement speed and give you more kind of so if you're running towards an edge, I want to go sprinting towards the edge just because that's going to make it harder to stay on. But if you go and crouch next to the edge, it might make it easier to peek over. When there's people underneath you, don't just like, I wouldn't necessarily just do this and wait for them when we, for example, could have an option to like do this and go and take a different angle. There were a couple times like that, like when we were on those bridge high grounds above them, where we'd kind of just like wait for them instead of just moving around to the side. Longer ones, right, where if we're directly underneath, like above them, we might not be able to see too much, but if we come around to the side, we might be able to see a little bit better. If we have that like secondary high ground to drop to, maybe we can drop to the secondary high ground and helix back, jump back up. Jump something you're comfortable with.
Yeah, most of the time I totally just messed up.
All good, all good.
Yeah. And I'm familiar with a lot of the helix jump spots in your classic maps.
Yep.
The new maps, I'm still struggling with just where everything is, and you can probably see that in my gameplay last time.
Yeah, understandable. They're new. Gotta get used to them. Who are you?
I'm queued right now.
Yeah, like how many minutes did you?
No, I mean I'm in a game right now.
Oh, you're in a game right now. Okay. Okay, I am spectating.
It's a Zarya.
Oh, be careful about dropping from high ground there. Uh-oh. So there, maybe ran in a little bit too closely to them, and then that meant that we had to push back super far. Then we accidentally dropped from high ground, so we were doing more sprinting than shooting.
Yeah. I have a tank.
Stay close.
Uh-oh. Gotta be paying attention to our surroundings, listening for footsteps. paying attention, looking left, right, kind of walking right up on top of us. Drop my health back a little bit earlier. I think also we got headshot by someone else on their team as well. I think they're
The
Ash.
over
Yeah,
on
so
that high ground.
yeah, so watch standing still as well. Yep. Right now, I'd say work on angles and staying alive because we haven't been able to see too much, and we've also been dying a lot, and or just taking a lot of damage. Right now, our team probably wants to be contesting their top right. Now, if our whole team's not going, then that's fine, but usually we don't want to just let them through that choke super easily. That's a really good, easy spot to hold. Okay. Yeah, probably could have sprinted out of there while they're still far away from us. In these fights, go in position on like the opposite high ground from your team. Right? As long as you're not sprinting into their team, you as Soldier are a very flanky character, and you can do that because you have a lot of survivability. That is gonna give you better ability to actually see things without all the clutter in your face. Also, watch how much we're focusing Zarya. We're doing a little bit too much of bad target priority there. Yep. Don't stop shooting, drop health pack. Like, don't stop shooting, drop health pack, and then also we have Helix there. I think we probably could have even finished off Torb if we kept shooting, if we fired in at Helix.
Yeah.
Making sure, once again, at these longer ranges that we're just opening with that Helix. Okay.
Ah.
So there possibly could have ulted a few seconds sooner. When we did ult, we did kind of swap between people once again. And then final thing, just gotta watch that kill feed, or not kill feed. What's it called? Timer. On the time bank, so that we're not just getting off point when we could be touching.
Yeah, that was. I was just I tunnel visioned on the tour.
Yeah.
Not even paying attention to the timer.
5, 4,
Bring the noise. Bring the ruckus.
1. Round 2. Capture the objective. I'm with you.
I just stole that health back from my tank.
Bionic helix ready for you.
Health pack. That's gonna be a major thing in that duel, right? Is just getting healed up as soon as possible.
Yeah, whenever I started to engage him, it was on cooldown still, and I kind of forgot about it. I thought.
I don't think it was on cooldown, but if it was, it was definitely available once the engagement began. So sometimes it's even if you don't look at it, you can press the button to see like if it even happens. Okay.
Man,
right there on that, there are good usages of high ground and bad usages of high ground. Right there, we didn't have very much cover at all, and it also is really far away from their team as they were pushing in and engaging. So Ashen was going to have the superior ranging on us. So therefore, probably maybe like top right rather than like that back left side would have been a better option. Or I guess it would be more like top left from this angle.
Oh, that's lost.
Yep.
Man, I have 2 elims. I can't finish anybody off. I'm just doing terrible. I don't know what to do. Am I supposed to flank around this side?
Yep, that'd be fine. Yep, as long as you're just being careful of Genji, look at, drop health pack when he duels you.
Oh my goodness. Yep, I knew that was gonna happen.
Request healing, get your supports to look at you once you get in that duel. Get, like, don't leave it a 1v1. Make it unfair for him by making it a 1v2.
Yeah.
And then also watch the deflect, right?
Yeah, I do that with. Normally, I'm really good about
Yep.
that. I don't know if I'm just nervous because somebody's watching me or what.
All good, all
but-
good. Yeah, like the helix, actually landing the direct helix is probably gonna be like 70% of winning that duel. Uh-oh. Yep, so some better positioning than last time with that, but obviously he just had Blade for it. That is a situation where, I think I, okay, there we go. I bugged out my Discord for a second. Yeah, obviously had Blade there, so just make sure we're kind of generally paying attention to what ults they have, but we don't have to go super advanced on that.
Yeah.
That's more of an advanced skill. High level.
Ah.
When he's lower, you can also fire helix around his deflect to get splash damage. Look at her health bar there. You definitely could have just helixed her pretty much as soon as she was on top of you because of her health. So you just gotta be paying attention to the health bars.
Come on, aim.
All good. Good round.
Yeah, I did nothing on that last engagement. I need to go back to aim lab for a few hours or something, man.
I don't know, did we talk too much about like aim last time? Like, did we talk about did you do warm-ups? Did we talk about warm-ups?
Normally, no, we didn't talk about warm-ups,
Warm-ups,
but I
okay.
usually do.
Okay.
It's not
I
my
have
job to get you back alive.
I do have aim lab. I usually do my warm-ups with like Widow or with Cassidy.
Yeah. Well, note
And
if
then
if you're primarily maining soldier, you might be better. Like if you're primarily maining soldier, you might be better off warming up as a character who has tracking, rather than doing these other characters who might have slightly different aim styles. Whereas soldier, you need to be on their head the entire time. Widowmaker and McCree sometimes can be a little bit more flicky by nature because they only have to hit one shot. So that might be one thing. Aim labs sounds like a good plan. Yep. Range right now, we want to be getting closer and a little bit faster because now by this point we're already down 1.5 players. Watch using Helix while they're invulnerable.
I'll try to repay the favor.
We still have somebody in there.
Kiriko's just sitting on the roof. Or on top of the big drum.
That was a good.
If you wanted to, you could go stand on top of that lion right there. If you like, just by running up the top left. Yeah.
Oh, didn't even know.
Just I watched standing still too long. That's sometimes just a handy, like, little peeky spot. Maybe if you're like visoring or something.
Biotics deployed.
Okay, watch stepping into her range.
Oh, that stupid wall.
Okay. Anna slept the Symmetra like right next to us and we didn't notice. And she pinged it too. So just make sure you're paying attention.
Okay.
Oh, great Helix. Good job using that as the opener there to burst her down.
Yeah, it's just odd to me to do that. So
Yep, just gotta get used to it.
I'm gonna use that lion trick you suggested. If on the next engagement at least.
You can probably jump up in from this side as well, but it's up to you.
I've got you in my sights.
Okay, solid visor. Yeah. Honestly, this right side's probably even slightly superior to left side. I mean, it depends on how highly contested this right side is, but right side probably gives you like slightly better angles to work with and a little bit of the high ground, that right window. Great Helix.
Enemy turret is
Yep, starting to get a few more Helix kills now that we're using it frequently. Konnichiwa.
Mm-hmm.
hello. Bring the noise. Bring the ruckus.
Aim up, aim up.
Ouch.
Might even want to just back up and get healed by our team if it's their whole team pushing us.
Ahaha.
Health. All right, good game.
I can't believe we came back.
Winnable. All right. We do not have time for another comp. We got about like 4 minutes, something like that. 4 or 5 minutes until we do wrap up. You wanna just grab like a replay code? Go over it for like a few minutes.
Sure.
Sure.
We can go over that one.
Sure.
Well, I mean, I kind of that was a terrible game, even though I admit there's a terrible. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, so last point went a lot better than first point.
yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Do you want to do it and
Yep.
you watch or
Mhm.
how? Okay.
Yep. You can send it to me.
Now traveling to Busan. Ready for battle.
If I'm still
Yeah. Well, last point is probably the most, like, it was probably our best round. Because I think we went from, like, 4 and 6 up to, like, 20 kills or something.
Yeah. I felt terrible.
It's all good. So here, I do like that we're taking a different angle. Oh, that was something we didn't go over. Okay, we're leaving real quick. 11 seconds, 20, 11:20. All right, last time we went over Sombra. So I don't think we would have gone over a concept called off-angling. Am I correct?
every soldier
I-
needs a cause.
No, we did not go over.
We did not go over that. All
the
right.
off angle.
All right.
Takedown.
Let's go over it then. This is something that I think you could benefit from. I think we started doing it a hair more when I mentioned it, but I'd like to see it more frequently. Enemy team, our team, main angle. If we're trying to shoot down this, we're shooting into shields and tanks, and we are going to just have a lot of things blocking our perspective, and it might be a little hard to secure a kill from here. Also, there's maybe some other characters that just, if we're just coming from this angle, that just pump out more raw damage than we do, right? Such as maybe like Hanzo or Junkrat. If we're just shooting, like just doing this. Now, an alternative is what we can do is just do something like this. Well, now we've just immediately gotten around the tanks, the shields, straight into their back line. On top of that, this creates what you call a crossfire effect, where now we're shooting at them from a different angle from our team, which means that we're splitting their attention. They're thinking, do we look at soldier? Do we look at the team? This splits their tanking and their healing and their damage resources. It confuses them, and overall it's just kind of going to be worse off for them because they're never going to perfectly allocate every resource. We also get a surprise advantage because they're not going to know we're here until after we start shooting at them, which means that they're not going to be looking at us for like a second or a second and a half, right? Which gives us free time to be shooting at their backline. So we come over to the side, we go pow 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 pow, helix pow 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 pow, and then we're instantly back to our team. This is what you call an off angle. It's a different angle from the main angle. It's usually very fast and very safe. Another example, enemy team, our team, main angle, run around real quick, and we're on an off angle, right? We're right above them. We got around all those obstacles, and it's very fast, very back around the corner, something like that. And high grounds all act as natural sorry, my words are not very eloquent today. High grounds all act as natural off angles as long as we're above them. If they're all the way over there, then not as much because they can still kind of block us off. But when we're above them, we can get around it super easily, and then the same concepts apply. Flanking is similar, except for flank would be enemy team, our team, main angle. Flank would be us going around and around. Usually they're a lot longer and more dangerous. Flanks are not something you want to do on every character. Soldier's actually a pretty flanky character because you want to do this on characters that have mobility and survivability so that it can be faster and safer. Because that's, we said that the danger of them is that they're dangerous and that they take a long time. But do be careful that you're not going on long flanks in the middle of fights because that will put you out of the fight for a long period of time. So usually do this in between fights rather than during the fight. Which we did that a couple times during the fight, and then sometimes I think we did more flanks than we did off angles, which off angles are usually just the not superior to flanks, just in the nature that they're safer and faster. All that makes sense?
Yeah.
But like all of that supports the concept of target priority of like what should you be shooting at, which I don't remember if we went over that last time, but just generally not tanks.
Yeah.
And that's what we sometimes would, not all the time, but sometimes we would end up getting a little too focused on the Zarya, when there are other people there, that sort of thing. But yeah. All right. Let's do a quick review, wrap up main points. Ability usage, sprint, not too many bad things. I'd say Nothing we were doing particularly wrong with sprint. Health pack, use it more often. There would be times when we're low HP and we have it on cooldown and we don't use it. Pay attention to your health bar. Request healing when you're low. Drop health pack. Drop health pack when you know you're going to be taking a lot of damage. So when you're ulting, when maybe you're trying to stand and maintain a position. So maybe if we're coming up here with an ult, or even if we're just coming up here normally, we start shooting at them. Usually if you start shooting at people, they notice and they start shooting back. So we can come up here, we can go pew pew pow pow pow, health pack, pew pew pow 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 pow. That way we can stay up here longer. Helix rocket, use it much more often. Same, it's a 6-second cooldown. It comes back pretty fast, and yet I think we only like once every 12 seconds. I think we could be using it theoretically like twice as much. Not necessarily fully in practice because you're not always using it off cooldown. You could use it off cooldown, not always. You could be using it like, I don't know, 50% more, something like that. You could be using it a lot more. Secondly, look to use it to combo kills. 20 within 20 meters, use it as the finisher. Beyond 20 meters, use it as the opener. So fire and then finish. With damage, flick down to aim at their feet, so that if you miss, you hit the ground. Looks like that. That way, if you miss, you get the damage. Probably like maybe no higher than a medium, maybe lower end of a medium. Priority for you to work on. Ult usage, aim for headshots. Don't swap between targets. We would kind of do this, where we would use our visor, and then we would go like this. We go shoot, 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 and sometimes it wasn't as extreme as that, but other times it was. Sometimes it maybe be like once or twice of that. The longer we stay in one thing, the more likely they are to die. Also, don't be afraid to use, especially the closer you are at ranges. Don't be afraid to use Helix while you're ulting, right? Because damage when you're close, when you're close to somebody, because even if you're ulting, Helix will still burst down really fast, right? Don't use it in one or loss. I don't think I saw you using it in one or loss fights too many times. I think that's about it. Make sure you're taking like good angles with it. Put yourself back with it. Overall, that one was probably like higher end of a low to medium or low to medium, something like that. Then we got your mechanics, aim head level. I'd say really work on this one because you don't really hit very many headshots at all. I'm not sure if I can, like, if you could see your like critical hit accuracy. You come into fights kind of looking down here at the floor, which means that not only do you have to adjust up the heads, you have to adjust up the bodies as well. And then once you do start shooting at people, then you adjust up and you're just aiming at bodies most of the time. So make sure you're going for intentional headshots. Keep your crosshair at head level. This will just make it so much easier to hit headshots. Besides that, think through target priority a little bit. Maybe sometimes. That's about it. I don't think we talked too much else on mechanics. So to put that all in order, number one, order right now with my brain. All right, so that one right there probably went to like also lower end of medium, or high end of low to medium. And we have your positioning. Make sure you're using cover. Make sure you're taking high grounds. Take off angles. Take flank. Those when not to do them. Also, a little bit more of a major one. Ranging 15 meters to 30 meters is your preference. Don't go too far. Don't go too close. You can in certain instances, just not usually your preference. So make sure we're not sprinting into their team. Overall, positioning is much higher. Positioning is probably like a medium high. There's a lot of stuff in positioning we probably could have worked on. And then finally, we got your awareness. Pay attention to what is my health bar at? Request healing, press health back. What's up with my team? Where are they all at? What's up with the enemy team? Where are they at? So keep your ears open. Keep your eyes open. Maybe make sure people aren't sneaking up on us. Did we go over sound settings last time?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Okay, really quick sound settings. Options sound. Master volume. Make sure it's loud enough. It's subjective because everybody has different system sounds. Music volume, low or off so that it's not cluttering with your audio. Make sure check your headset to make sure you have surround sound enabled as an option on your headset. If it is not an option, then come to the in-game and do spatial audio, Dolby Atmos for headphones. That's the in-game version of surround sound, and it's important that you have surround sound. Then finally, I might also recommend turn on play sound when enemy eliminated and play sound when teammate eliminated. This will basically be an auditory version of kill feed, where you will get a ping sound when teammates or enemies are dead. It differs in pitch for teammates and enemies, and also differs in pitch depending on how many are dead or alive. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then besides that, keep your ears open. Watch, look, listen. Watch enemies. Watch their health bars. Helix when they're a little bit higher on HP. That sort of thing. Watch kill feed and the flow of the fight. Sometimes you just need to pay attention to that. Overall, that one is probably like higher end of a medium. So to put that all in order, number 1 is probably going to be your positioning. Number 2 is awareness. Number 3 is ability usage. 4 is mechanics. 5 is ult usage. Any questions?
No.
No? Okay. Well, record.